Hey everyone, let's jump into our second tutorial on operators and expressions. So I have Visual Studio pulled up and I have the code from our last tutorial. So in it, we went over how these are all expressions and these are operators and operands, and they result in a single value. And that's specifically important right now. So each of these expressions results in a single value, just as we talked about. And I'd also like to point out our old friend, string name equals Pete, semicolon. So what this does is it creates a variable named name, and it gives it this value of Pete. This is a single value as well. So the assignment operator needs a single value of one type that matches the type of the variable, and it will take this value and put it into this variable. Now, these are also a single value. So what I'm going to do here is take out this comment line and create a variable called first example. We'll set it equal to 2 plus 2. Now, so you can see that this works because the computer is smart enough to know that 2 plus 2 is an expression that results in 4, which is a single value. And because the assignment operator, all it needs is a single value and a matching type for the variable for it to work, the assignment operator knows, hey, I'll take this value and put it into this variable. So the same way that the minus sign enforces the rule that you need an integer on one side and an integer on another side, the assignment operator works the same way. So we can go through, and it's no problem to store all of these expressions into variables. What I'd like to do here, though, is I would like to create a variable called b and talk about our last expression here. So this was previously in the last video, we used this as an expression that doesn't work. This was an example of something that doesn't work because 2 is a number and b is a letter. But through the magic of coding, we can actually make this work. So what I've done up here is I've created an integer variable called b, and I've assigned it to the value of this expression. Now the value of this expression is 3. So in this variable, we're holding the value of 3. So let's go down here and create a variable called, we'll say, true example. Finish it with a semicolon, and you can see that this works fine. It's not throwing an error because b here is actually now an integer. And so we can use b in this expression down here to fill up the variable true example. So I'm going to erase a lot of this other stuff so that we can kind of just focus on this. And I'm going to do a console.writeLine, and I'm going to print out true example. I'm going to run this. And so what do you think true example's value is? Okay, it's 5. So you might have guessed that, but you might have not guessed that. So why is it 5? In this expression, we're using b. b is equal to 3. We add 3 to 2 and store that into true example, which is why it's 5. So just to recap, on line 9, we created a variable of the type integer called b. We assigned that to the expression 9 divided by 3. The value of that, because remember, expressions all have one value, is 3. So the variable b is 3. On the next line, on line 10, we create an integer. We name the variable true example, and we set that equal to 2 plus b. Remember, the value of b is 3, so 2 plus 3 is equal to 5, and that's the value of true example. We then print it out in this console.writeLine, and as we know, console.writeLine prints things out to the terminal. So I'm going to close this, and I'm going to introduce you to another type of operator. And this operator is called the plus equals operator. So we're going to take true example, we're going to write plus equals, and we'll add 7. So what the plus equals operator does is it takes the value of true example and adds 7 onto that existing value. Now you might remember that with just the regular assignment operator, that in this line, true example has a value of 5, but it's getting overridden with the value of 7. So in this case, this would equal 7. However, when you add the plus into the mix, we take the value of true example and add 7 onto it. So in this case, it would be 12. So we'll run this just so I can prove that I'm not lying to you here. Perfect. So now what I'd like to talk about is how these are the same, all of these equals operators, including the plus equals operator, and how all of the other arithmetic operators are similar. So we have the division operator, the addition operator, multiplication, and the assignment operator, this plus equals operator here. All of these take 2 operands, right? So the division operator takes 1 operand on each side, the assignment operator takes 1 operand on each side, and the addition operator takes 1 operand on each side. They're all called binary operators. I'd like to introduce you now to a unary operator, and that is the plus plus operator. This operator only takes 1 operand, and we're going to use true example. What this does is it adds 1 onto the variable. So what do you think that would be? Let's run it. Maybe it was obvious, but the value of true example now is 13 because the plus plus operator adds 1 onto the existing value of 12. Cool. So let's kill that process and then add our final operator for this video, which is the minus minus. So I'm not even going to explain what the minus minus is. I'm just going to run this. I'm going to let you guess. What will be the value now of true example? Yeah, it's 12. So why is it 12? Well, as you might have guessed, the minus minus operator takes 1 away, just in the same way that the plus plus operator adds 1. So starting from the beginning, we create a variable called b, and we assign it to the value of this expression, which is 3. We then create a new variable called true example, and we set it equal to the number 2 plus the value of b, which we know is 3. So true example here is equal to 5. We then take true example, and we use this plus equals operator to add 7 onto its value, and that results in 12. We use the double addition operator to add 1 onto true example, which results in 13. Then we subtract 1 using the negative negative operator, and that results in 12. We print the whole thing out with this line. Cool. So those are your arithmetic operators. Why it's called arithmetic and not arithmetic, I don't know, but they're called arithmetic operators. And next lesson, we'll be talking about Boolean operators. Thanks.